welcome to Les Rendez-vous Partenaires. The American Chamber of Commerce, the AmCham and NextGen, organized one of the most popular events of the year, a pitch competition with a transatlantic twist that was organized 2 days ago. The aim is for the French startups to convince top innovators and global corporate giants to help them expand to the United States. With me today, the founders and co-chairs of NextGen, Jason McDonald and Erwan Calvez, and also joining us, the intellectual property and technology lawyer with DLA Piper, Agnèz Chavernoz, who is also one of the NextGen selection committee member. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Jason, can you tell us about the NextGen initiative that was launched for startup?
Sure. So the NextGen initiative was launched just less than 2 years ago, and it's part of the American Chamber of Commerce, which is a 123-year-old organization, business organization, primarily made up today of large corporations and CAC 40. NextGen is an effort to modernize this organization and bring in new, younger companies that are going to be able to kind of continue the force of the chamber moving forward. So it's primarily made of startups that are gaining access to this large corporate network, and it's going to help them hopefully grow and expand globally.
So there were a pitch competition that was 2 days ago. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. So this was the second year we did the pitch competition. This year we held it at Google. It was sponsored by United Airlines and DLA Piper. And the goal was to go out and find the startups here in France that are getting ready to do that global expansion. They've grown here in France and now they're ready to spread their wings and fly. And we wanted to help them go do that. And so we held the pitch competition. This year's winner, Facility, did a great job. They've got a great product that helps websites adapt their website for disabled users, very socially conscious. And what we're going to do is we're going to help them expand to the U.S. with access to the U.S. market. DLA Piper is going to be providing legal services and a host of other things. And so that's part of the mission at NextGen, is to really help them succeed abroad.
Agnès, you were in the selection committee for the pitch competition. What expectation do startups have regarding legal advice?
Well, we notice when working with startups that they are often reluctant to speak with lawyers because they do not know if we are going to understand what they do, and they do not know how much this is going to cost them. Startups need to be sure that they are talking with people who understand their ecosystem, their business model, and their wants and needs. At DLA Piper, we've been working with startups for quite a few years now, and we've been launching several initiatives towards startups, such as this great partnership with AmCham, and also the launching of a digital guide addressing several issues concerning directly startups.
And how did you experience the pitching competition and also the selection?
Well, let me say that we are very proud and honored to be a part of this competition, because this is a great showcase for startups, and this is also a noble purpose to help startups expand and go global. And we received tons of applications of different startups out there. We had to select 12 of them, and we met with these 12 startups, and we had the then difficult task to choose 7 out of these 12 startups, which were the most innovative ones.
So what do French startups need to do to increase the likelihood that they can find US investments?
So a U.S. investor meeting with a French startup is going to be looking for the same things they're looking for in an American startup in terms of the team, the product, scalability, understanding what problem they're trying to solve. But the new aspect that the startup in France is going to have to think about is traction in the U.S. It's very rarely that an American startup is going to work with a French startup that has no traction in the U.S. And that's one of the great things about having access to the AmCham network, is that there are a lot of American companies very active at the chamber, giving them access to these American companies here in France to help them get that traction they need to grow global.
And what is the position of big corporate towards startups?
Well, I really think that the startup ecosystem is totally unavoidable for big groups that want to develop themselves in this environment. The environment is more and more challenging and is evolving very rapidly. So we need to be agile and fast. Big groups need to be agile and fast. And who are the best positioned to address this evolution? I think startups are. And don't get me wrong, of course, we need a mix between startups, intra-innovation, and what we call intrapreneurs that also are very important. But I think this mix, and of course the startup ecosystem, will help us to face the evolution of the ecosystem, and of course, that will make the difference for the future.
And how important is innovation to the startup culture? And also, what is the cultural differences between corporates and startups?
Well, I think the biggest difference is towards mindset. I mean, corporate and startups don't have the same mindset, especially in terms of risk and opportunities. When you think about how a startup reacts towards vis-a-vis the risk, it's very, very different compared to big groups. That's why we have instruments to engage with the startups, like the Biz Lab and Accelerator we have at Airbus, an independent corporate venture fund. And of course, this great relationship that we have with the AmCham through the NextGen committee, and we think that help us to better engage with the startups in a win-win situation, because win-win is very important between startups and big groups.
And more widely, are your members, who are often big corporates, are also involved in the world of the startups and innovation?
Yeah, I think most of the large organizations have realized that we moved kind of into a mature tech period of history, and that they're not going to be able to internalize it all, like Erwan was saying. And so by working with startups, they're able to externalize some of this innovation and bring it in when it's necessary. And I think that's one of the great aspects of NextGen that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, is that there's a community of internal innovators at NextGen as well that are working together, collaborating and sharing best practices. So not only are startups involved in the NextGen community, but you also have the entrepreneurs and innovators in these organizations working together and trying to enhance their work together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.